Dear devotees, dear sincere seekers, we are coming together and to share something of the teachings of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. And who knows Srila Guru Maharaj the very best? That's Srila Gurudev. So Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. So here in the book, The Golden Reflections, then Srila Govinda Maharaj is explaining some important lessons for us. And after all, here we are students of the great masters. The masters Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, and Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and presenting them, trying to introduce them to the sincere seekers and their teachings, which we must always remember, always reread, rehear, and put into our life in practice. So here's some reminder from Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. Srila Gurudev is saying, you joined the Krishna consciousness movement in the last chapter of Srila Guru Maharaj's pastimes. Therefore, you did not hear actually 3/4, but what you heard was the last chapter, the final chapter. Before reading other lessons, if you read the final lesson, that can sometimes be very harmful to digest. After reading the first lesson, the second lesson, and the third lesson, then you can read the fourth lesson. But by the time the Western devotees came to Srila Guru Maharaj, he could not wait, and therefore he expressed his fourth lesson. For example, Gayatyata Vinyajasam Gita Gurhata Gauravam. He expressed the explanation of the Gayatri Mantram, which previously no one had ever done widely. I have been with Srila Guru Maharaj for many years, and I know his nature. Therefore I queried humbly, why are you expressing the Gayatri Mantram interpretation? We have not seen this distributed anywhere. The previous acharyas have not given it. My thought is that it is not necessary to broadcast this. Why are you giving it? And Srila Guru Maharaj smiled and said, firstly, it has come in my heart and I cannot check myself. Secondly, if I do not give it, then I am thinking that nobody will be effective in giving it in the future. In the past it has not been given, and in the future it will not be given. Then I must give what I have now. You may control how it is published, but I must express my heart. In this way, Srila Guru Maharaj gave the explanation of the Gayatri Mantram to the world. But that is the last chapter of his manifest pastimes, and all the devotees know it. Also, you will not find that explanation given anywhere previously in any chapter of any of the other acharyas, including Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. I heard from Srila Guru Maharaj that maybe Jiva Goswami gave some essence of that Gayatri explanation, but Srila Guru Maharaj had not seen that. Recently, I did find it given in Jiva Goswami's writings, but there he gives only a hint of the meaning. Srila Guru Maharaj's conception is very high, and he gave that Gayatri explanation in the last chapter of his life. But it is also necessary to know his previous presentation. We can receive that from his book, Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam. We must take this scripture into our hearts, and then we shall be able to understand the other things. The first stage for us has been given by Srila Guru Maharaj there. Everything is there, including the very highest things. But mainly there is one theme, surrender, Sharanagati. The first thing is Sharanagati. The fully surrendered soul can understand everything, and this is shown in Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam with many examples. If we shall think in that way and try to proceed in that way, then no problem will come to us. And in his last manifest pastimes, Srila Guru Maharaj gave, amongst other things, his Rig Mantram explanation of Gayatri. Then I'm going to continue just a little way down. So little way down. So Srila Guru Maharaj, so this is Srila Govinda Maharaj speaking. So Srila Guru Maharaj expressed to me, quote, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada gave me the property, and Nityananda Prabhu ordered me, you must try to give this to others. Therefore, lastly, I am trying to do so. Also others, including Chandidas, Vidyapati and Narottam Thakur, expressed some high conceptions. Who is able to understand shall understand in the future. But what I have, I want to express now. That was Srila Guru Maharaj's desire, and in that way he gave such high conceptions. But if someone will try to read the fourth lesson without first reading from the beginning, the first, second and third lessons, then that will be very hard, and that also can be harmful. And then ... a little further along, therefore it is necessary to complete the first lesson, the second lesson and the third lesson. Then it is possible to understand the fourth lesson. Srila Guru Maharaj gave those first three lessons in Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam, as well as the fourth. If you read this book carefully, you will get everything. Srila Guru Maharaj has given there the meaning of Sharanagati, in particular in the following shloka. Bhagavat Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsrijya Vidherapi Kainkaryam Krishna Padaika Shrayatvam Sharanagatihi. That means being governed by the faith that all success is achieved by serving the Supreme Lord, to abandon servitude to even scriptural injunctions and take exclusive refuge in the lotus feet of Krishna in every time, place and circumstance is known as Sharanagati, unconditional surrender. Hare Krishna. Then what is, then Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru is saying, what is Sharanagati? It is Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam. It is not even necessary to serve any other god or demigod. Through only the service to Krishna, we can get everything. Therefore, we must take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Service to Krishna can give us everything, and this type of faith is called Sharanagati. If you can memorize one shloka and put that in your heart, then from this one shloka you will get everything given in any scripture. I tried before to know in one sentence what is Sharanagati. We know that Sharanagati is surrender, but that is not sufficient. Therefore I asked Srila Guru Maharaj. He replied, have you not read Prapanna Jivanamritam? I said, yes Maharaj, I have. But is the explanation there? Then he quoted this same shloka, and this is the main thing. Now, there's a question and answer, and maybe it's going to be slightly long. No, it's going to be slightly long, but here's question and answer directly following this, because Srila Guru Maharaj said about this, have you not read Prapanna Jivanamritam? And then Guru Maharaj quoted that sloka. Then a devotee asks, I heard that Srila Guru Maharaj explained the difference between Sharanagati and Atma Nivedanam, full self-surrender. Please explain to us what that difference is. So, Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj replying, there are 6 kinds of Sharanagati. In Prapanna Jivanamritam, this is explained, and in each case there are examples and expressions of the feelings of other devotees. If you read this book, you can understand. There, Srila Guru Maharaj explains the subject very clearly and very nicely. So the devotee then says, so what is the meaning of Atma Nivedanam? Srila Govinda Maharaj replies, the following verse describes the 6 kinds of symptoms of Sharanagati. Atma Nikshepa means Atma Nivedanam. So in this verse, Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulya vivajanam rakshishyatiti vishvaso goptrite varanam tata Atma Nikshepa karpanye shad vidha sharanagatihi. Which means that the 6 limbs of surrender are to accept everything favorable for devotion to Krishna, to reject everything unfavorable for devotion to Krishna, to be confident that Krishna will grant his protection, then to embrace Krishna's guardianship, to offer one's self unto him, and 6, to consider oneself lowly and bereft. Then the devotee says, or asks, what about Navavidha Bhakti, the 9 principal forms of devotion? Then Srila Gurudev replies, there are 9 kinds of devotional practices. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, and Atma Nivedanam. And you know what those are, I think. They are also included in Sharanagati, unconditional self-surrender. But Sharanagati is the first thing, and Sharanagati is the last thing. If you want to enter into transcendental knowledge, you must first take shelter of Sharanagati. This is the first lesson, and this is the last lesson. Everything is covered in this book, Prapanna Jivanamritam, and if you read it minutely, you must stand in the plane of devotion. Many examples are given there from the scriptures, as well as from the devotees' lives. It is divided into the 6 kinds of Sharanagati, part by part. It is a very valuable and nice book, no doubt, and everything is there, including this verse spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nahang vipro nacha narapatir napi vaishyo na shudro nahang varni nacha grihapatir no vanasto jatirva kintu prodyan nikila paramananda purnamritar dher gopi bhartu para kamalayo dasa dasa no dasa. That is saying, I think you know also this verse. I am not a priest, a king, a merchant or labourer, that is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, nor am I a student, a householder, a retired householder or a mendicant, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha or sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, the Lord of the gopis, who is the personification of the fully expanded, eternally self-revealing, nectarian ocean that brims with the totality of divine ecstasy. Hare Krishna. Okay, I know a little long, but this is the last question and then the answer. Devotee, is it necessary to have gone through Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita before reading Prapanna Jivanamritam. And immediately Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj replies, no, it is not necessary. This is the first book of reading, referring to Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam. This is the first book of reading, and this is the last book of reading. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is also no doubt the first book of reading and the last book of reading. But there are many things there mixed in with bhakti. In Prapanna Jivanamritam is found only bhakti and nothing else. But in the Gita is some description about karma, yoga, jnana, and many other things. That is why everybody likes Bhagavad Gita. The karmis like it, the terrorists like Gita, the yogis like Gita, Mahatma Gandhi liked it, Jawaharlal liked it, one of the famous politicians of India. Everybody likes Bhagavad Gita. The reason is that they are each receiving something from it to fulfill their own purpose. But in Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam, whatever is included is only for the purpose of devotion. That is, the relationship between Krishna and the jiva, the soul. It is a very pure devotional book. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Swami Maharaj, said to his sister, this Prapanna Jivanamritam is a very important and nice book. You have money, so please you spend some money for the printing of this Prapanna Jivanamritam. Her name was Bhavani Didi. We called her Pishima, or Madam's mother, and it was she who subsequently gave the money for the first printing. Another of the very high type of shlokas there is the following verse by Sri Kula Shekhar. Nashta dharme navasu nichaye naiva kamo pabhoge. ... Sanskrit, the translation is, O Lord, I have no faith in religion, economic development, or sense enjoyment. May all these come to pass as they are ordained according to my previous karma. My earnest prayer is that birth after birth I may have unflinching devotion to your lotus feet. And then 4 lines more, we're almost there. It is not very difficult to understand what Krishna Bhakti is, but what is necessary is the mood of surrender. If you surrender, then you can understand everything. But if you do not fully surrender, then many difficulties will come. There is no difficulty for the surrendered soul. Hare Krishna, so maybe a little longer than usual. But this theme of the first, second, third, fourth lesson, we saw Srila Guru Maharaj in his 4th lesson, the last quarter. But here Srila Gurudev is giving us much hope that we can catch up on all the lessons by this one book, Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam, and to follow the very theme of the book in our lives. So, just a beautiful day with beautiful remembrance of Srila Gurudev, his teachings, Srila Guru Maharaj, his teachings, devotional service, the teachings of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who has brought Srimad Bhagavatam and pure devotional service in love of Godhead to everybody, just for the price of a little faith. So let us be faithful. Let us hear from the Masters and put into practice in our lives their teachings. Jai, wonderful Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Wonderful Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. And to all of the Sri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki jai, to all of the devoted listeners and sincere seekers ki jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna,